Oh boy. All right. So we're gonna do a review on this book, okay? I normally don't do a whole lot of reviews unless it's like Poison Ivy or something, but I got a lot to say about this, man, and a lot of it's not gonna be good, okay? Just straight up. And it's not that I'm trying to be a dick or anything or disrespect the creators or anything. Like, I don't know them personally or whatever. I'm just going based off what I read as a reader, as a collector. And I'm just trying to be honest with you guys, man. I'm not simping for nobody out here unless they're paying me. All right. DC's not paying me for simp for their books. So I'm just going to be honest with you guys. This was not good. This was not very good. The art by Marguerite Savage, though, that stuff was, man, I love the art, man. There is no complaints about the art, especially in that first story. There is a backup story, but honestly, I couldn't finish that. But yeah, the art, no complaints about that. The coloring, same artist as the inker or the pencils, Marguerite Savage. I love the art. But here's the thing about Power Girl, man. All right. Power Girl has always been a character that has a lot of inconsistencies, a very convoluted history. Like, they kept changing the origins and doing goofy stuff with it to the point where they made her like an Atlantean, which is, to me, that's weird. All right. But because of that convoluted history, almost all the conversations around Power Girl never go past comments about her boob window. That's usually the extent of a Power Girl conversation. They talk about the boob window, and then that's usually it, right? That is until, we get to Infinite Crisis and we get to JSA Classified by Jeff Johns, right? That's when he took Power Girl and he actually settled her in, gave her a personality, made her comes to terms with her situation, right? Because that's something that Supergirl has always struggled with, and literally made Power Girl what she was meant to be, a more older, more mature version of Supergirl, all right? When Power Girl was fighting people, she was assertive, she was aggressive, but at the same time, she wasn't arrogant. She was just confident in her own abilities. As her alter ego, Karen Starr, she was still intelligent, confident, CEO, right? And also, but she also had that kindness. She also had a streak of altruism and philanthropy, kind of all that stuff, and that makes Superman great as well, right? Except she kind of had like this aggressive, sexy edge to her, right? But she still maintained that goodness, that kindness that makes Kryptonian so cool. And they continue to build upon that through the Power Girls Power Trip with Amanda Conner, Palmiotti. Great. They continue to build upon that. However, here, a lot of that stuff gets undone. A lot of that stuff gets thrown out the window, and Power Girl doesn't even feel like the same character. One of the first things that changed is like their alter ego. She's no longer Karen Starr. Her name's Paige now, and that's just, that already makes a disconnection between the people who know this character and like this character, and they're already separating the character from that audience, which would be probably me. And not only that, but they also changed her powers. Like, they gave her psychic abilities so she can psychic punch people. That's just lame to me. That's lame, right? And besides, Power Girl, she's always been you can tell that she always loved to fight. Like, she loves put them dukes up. She was a power up, I fix everything with my fists kind of girl. And I think that's what made her cool, right? That she embraced that. She embraced her sexuality, and she embraced her aggression and her love for fighting. Here, they kind of take that away from her, and so she's already different, right? On top of that, she's not confident in this book. She's got a lot of self-doubts. She blames herself for a lot of things. She kind of wallows in a lot of self-pity at times, and which is fine again for a younger Supergirl, but for Power Girl, she was past that. You know, Power Girl is more confident. She knows who she is. She's sure of herself, and she was not that in this at all. The whole psychic thing made everything kind of shaky. We also had like this character. I don't even know what his name is, but I honestly, with a lot of new villains, I don't really even care to know their names because I know they're gonna be easily defeated, and that's him right there. And it's like some kind of weird dream sequence between him and Power Girl, and I knew that he was gonna be easily defeated, and I just didn't know it was gonna be so soon. Like, he was beaten in this issue, and the way he was presented at this worldwide menace where he puts the entire world to sleep, and he's got like these 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and it's just the stakes already are already off the bat. But just like that, he's defeated by the end of the issue, which is lame. It feels unearned. It just feels weird. It just feels like a waste of time. Like, you don't want to invest in this story. All right. There's like a villain here that like beats people with like musical notes. This is just a really tough read. Like, it's all over the place. Power Girl's emotions are all over the place. There's a point where she goes to go look for Supergirl, and instead she finds Streaky the Super Cat. Honestly, Streaky the Super Cat, I loved seeing him. It was awesome. However, she gets in a tangle with Power Girl, and then Power Girl like threatens to, she's like, oh yeah, I'm not nice like Kara, I'll punch a cat in the face. Like, that's lame to me, man. So a lot of the things with writing, man, is when a good writer can get lost in the characters. Like, you can't tell the writer. But here, the writing felt like you were watching a puppet show, and it kind of felt like the writer was just talking to herself, right? It was just kind of, you can tell like it's the same voice. It's just talking to herself, and that kind of took me out of the story. So again, it was just tough. Everything was so neatly wrapped up by the end of the issue. It just didn't really matter. The stakes didn't matter. The history behind Power Girl didn't matter. Nothing mattered, man. And then she gets Streaky the Super Cat. By the end, it's like nothing's very well explained. This is just not very good writing. I'm sorry. I have to say that. This is not very good writing. And I think what's kind of disappointing is that this is going to get her, there's going to be an ongoing series with Power Girl going into the future. And it just feels unearned. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like DC was onto something when they were making creators earn their series. Like, G. Willow Wilson had to earn her ongoing Poison Ivy series, right? They gave her 6 issues. You got to do something with Poison Ivy. She did something with Poison Ivy, so they gave her 6 more. Then she knocked it out, did 12. They're like, all right, now you get your ongoing series. So 100% that felt earned, right? This already has an ongoing series, and it feels completely unearned. It just kind of feels like it's going to be a long kind of trudge through the gutter for Power Girl. And the only silver lining that I can see in it being an ongoing is that with an ongoing series, they can change creative teams. Maybe after 6 issues, they'll switch teams or whatever, which I'm hoping they will. And maybe they can reboot Power Girl all over again. Like, this was really bad. Like, the backup story was like very infantile and very kiddish, very childish. It just wasn't for me. And the whole reason you say, why would I even make a video about this? It's like, well, because I wanted to make a review and just kind of let you guys know how I feel about it, man. And I feel like I'm being respectful. I feel like I'm not bashing the creators personally on a personal level, but at the same time, you know, you have to be honest and be able to critique. Well, one of the things is I believe is in being critical of something without being disrespectful, but you can be critical of it. And I'm going to say that this was not a very good story. So it's definitely not going to be on my pull list. So you won't be hearing me cry about it anymore. However, I might pick up a cover here and there just for the cover buy, just to include it into the Power Girl collection. But other than that, I don't really see, I'm not going to be reading this. Like, it's bad. If you guys want to read a good Power Girl story, though, I recommend Power Trip, the new trade paperback that just came out last week. It collects JSA Classified, and it collects, I believe, the first few arcs of the Solo series. And that, I really recommend that. That's a really good Power Girl place to read. But anyways, if you guys read this, you guys let me know what you guys think. They did put out a foil variant, and then there's a 1 in 25 Tula Lotte. However, I just went with the regular art germs on this one. So anyways, and that's all I got to say about that, man. All right. You guys let me know if you guys are going to pick this up. I'll see you guys. Peace.